Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comfort Cabin, your home for all things cozy. I'm your host, Sarah, and I've been wanting to start this podcast for years now, and I'm finally recording my first episode. So I'm so glad you're here with me, and we're just going to get right into it. Our first episode is about waiting for autumn. I don't know about you, but I go into a state of limbo every September. The excitement of summer is gone, but the weather still sucks. I'm ready for sweaters and pumpkin spice, but I'm stuck sweating in shorts as I chug my 50th cup of ice water. The anticipation of waiting for fall weather is one of the most frustrating times for me throughout the year. That said, now that I'm a grown adult who goes to therapy once a week, I've found some techniques for getting into the autumn spirit while waiting for autumn weather. I'll share my tips and tricks here and hopefully give you some cozy feelings along the way. Feel free to share your tips in the comments. How do you get into the spirit of autumn? My first tip is probably an easy one. You probably could have guessed it. Decorate your home. There are a few things that bring me as much joy as waking up in the morning and seeing my house full of pumpkins and fall garlands. Some years I actually began decorating in August just to give the universe a little push in the right direction. It may be hot and humid outside where I live in Kansas, but it's cozy and autumnal in my house, with the air conditioning on, of course. My second tip is fall scents. Whether you're a candle or a wax melt kind of girly, or you prefer the essential oil kind of life, switch up your home's signature scents for autumn. I personally love the smell of cinnamon and pumpkin this time of year, and it's always a special treat to pick up a new candle or two when I'm out and about. Just yesterday, actually, I picked up two new candles from Bath and Body Works. They're already putting out their Christmas stuff. It's September 27th. But I got a couple of fall candles that they still had in stock and lit them last night. It made my evening feel extra magical. Number three is to get outside as early in the morning as you can stand. Where I live, it's finally starting to get cool in the mornings, but by 10 a.m., it's already hot and humid. But early in the morning, it's starting to feel a little bit like fall. So, one of my favorite things to do recently is to get up early in the morning, and I'm talking like 5 o'clock a.m., and sit on my back porch with a cup of pumpkin spice coffee and just breathe in that cool, still humid because, Kansas. Breathe in that cool air and just remind myself that we're getting closer to my favorite weather. I just always have to remember to light my citronella candle because, yeah, if you live somewhere with mosquitoes, you know. I learned that the hard way recently. My fourth tip is to embrace fall music and fall like ambient videos and soundtracks. Music is a massive part of my daily life. I'm a musician. I just love music. And what I listen to completely changes my mood. Recently, I've been loving these like whimsical and dark academia playlists on Spotify. And if you go to my blog, which is comfortcabin99.blogspot.com. I've actually posted a few of my favorite Spotify playlists. I'll also listen to Halloween playlists constantly as it gets closer to Halloween. There's nothing quite like a little bit of Monster Mash to put me into a spooky mood. But along with music, I love playing those ambient videos on YouTube in the background of just whatever I'm doing. There are tons of great autumn and Halloween themed videos. My favorite ones are the ones with fireplace or rain, the sound of crackling fireplace or raindrops on windows. and just some really cozy images. And again, if you go to my blog, I've posted a couple of my favorite videos on that in this post as well. These videos are just so fantastic. In the background, I have them on at work a lot, or just while I'm reading, or even just while I'm like cleaning my house or making dinner. It just gives me those warm and fuzzy feelings. My fifth tip is to watch the leaves change. This kind of sounds weird, but I'm going to explain. So, just pay attention to the leaves changing. About a decade ago, my husband and I were taking a walk along the river where we lived. It was December, and suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, there's no leaves on the trees. When did that happen? Like, weren't they green yesterday? And I realized I had just completely missed the changing seasons while living my busy life. And since then, I have paid close attention to the trees and the foliage on my daily drives and walks. I've tried to notice when, individual leaves are turning red, orange, and yellow, and they finally fall. And it just makes waiting for cozy weather a little bit sweeter when you actually observe the world around you slowly changing. So, those are my top 5 tips. I've got a couple of bonus tips here as well. They didn't make it into my blog post, but I think you guys will still appreciate them. One is to just try out some new fall recipes. I recently made an Italian sausage soup that was absolutely to die for. It was so good, and it gave me all of those like warm and fuzzy feelings. Even if it's warm outside this time of year, making soups or baked goods just makes me feel like it's getting into the holiday seasons. And so, yeah, try out some new recipes. Don't be scared, even if it's hot outside. Crank the air conditioning if you have it, and try to, look at some new recipes. Another one, and this one I know I'm going to get made fun of for this, but pumpkin spice everything, you guys. I I love pumpkin spice. I used to always get, you know, pumpkin spice latte from a fancy coffee shop, and trying not to do that one so much this year, but just the K cups that are pumpkin spice flavored are delicious. Even just like adding a little bit of that, actual pumpkin spice seasoning into whatever hot drink you're drinking just is so wonderful. And I know it's kind of cliche at this point, but there is just something about that flavor and scent that is just fall for me, and it puts me in the best mood. Another one, and probably my last tip for this episode, is movies. I have a huge list of fall and Halloween movies that I like to watch every year. I try to switch it up a little bit, but there's like 40 movies on that list. And at some point, I may do an episode just on my favorite autumn or Halloween movies, because there are so many to talk about. A few that I'm excited to watch again this year are Coraline. I haven't seen that movie for a few years, and I know it's just fantastic. I'm also excited to watch Beetlejuice. I haven't seen the new one yet, and it's been a few years since I've seen the old Beetlejuice, so I'm going to watch that one again this year and then hopefully see the new one soon afterwards. And yeah, I mean, the Addams Family movies are just fantastic. And I mean, okay, quick shout out to Hocus Pocus and the Halloween Town series. Those two movies, the original Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus, are just like childhood for me. Like, if you grew up in the 90s like I did, you just, you know, you know exactly what I mean. Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town were both on like every day, after school at least once throughout the month of October. And I watched those all the time. And I still love both of those movies so much. And now my kids watch them with me, and it's just, they don't get old to me. They're just so cozy and comforting. So I I think that's it for me for today, guys. What are your favorite ways to get into the autumn spirit? Leave a comment. Let me know what you're into right now and what's making you feel all warm and cozy. And I'll be back soon with another episode. Thanks for listening.